Hello, YouTube. This is Ty with Invisible Chess coming to you here with some commentary on the protest that went on down in Berkeley, California. The white folks decided to tear up Berkeley, California, and it's a college town, so that's what college kids do. But well, not all, but that's what a lot of college people do when they get excited about stuff. But they're protesting along with the rest of the nation over this Eric Garner situation, and I'm actually going to show you a news segment from WAFB Channel 9, which is a CBS affiliate over in Baton Rouge, Florida. They were just covering some events that were happening in California. So this is California that they're covering, and I'm doing this all under Title 17 so I don't get in trouble, which is the fair use laws. And so I'm going to go ahead and roll this footage, and then I'm going to give you my take on things. So I'm going to go ahead and roll that footage.
This demonstration started going sideways when the large group made its way to Berkeley Police Headquarters, and officers tried to keep them clear of the building. One officer was injured by a flying object tossed from within the crowd. Some people tried to keep the protests nonviolent.
No violence! No violence!
Police deployed a smoke canister to disperse the crowd, and that's when the protesters splintered. One group made their way to the nearby Trader Joe's and started bashing in windows. Protesters then hit a neighborhood Radio Shack.
We're just in work, and next thing you know, that window breaks, that window start breaking, these two windows break.
Kid with a hammer comes in, throws brake fluid like he's gonna light the store on fire. A guy with a crowbar comes in, they start stealing stuff.
They say one looter went after a customer in the store, and as they rushed him out the back door, another looter attacked with a skateboard.
And I don't know why they have white people come in and shoving black people, you know what I mean? Like, if you're protesting white on black crime, like, you shouldn't even be in this protest if you have white skin.
Outside, neighbors helped sweep up the shattered glass.
We heard people shouting and then smashing shops, so we just come here to help them cleaning it.
As the night unraveled, some demonstrators did try to stop the looting and vandalism.
Why are people looting? There's no need. We're peacefully protesting. We shouldn't be taking things from stores that aren't bothering us.
After a few hours, one small group finally made its way back to UC Berkeley campus, and that's when police made several arrests.
Okay, so you saw the video, and interestingly enough, the contrast. It's a white college town, so there really aren't any black folks other than the people who are there to work. Surprisingly enough, the black people you do see are either cops or people who work in the shops. So it's kind of a contrast to the rest of the country, to some places in the rest of the country, the majority of places where you see these types of protests. And you see windows getting broken. There were some cars that had their windows broken. There was looting and vandalism. There was one guy in the video that said he doesn't understand why people with white skin are even involved, because there was somebody who broke a window and then ran into I think it was the Radio Shack, and chased a black customer around the counter, and they had to like run that protester out, and that protester was white. And it's just like some people just can't fathom, and it's surprising to me to see white people just tearing up their neighborhood. Now, granted, it's nowhere near the extent that you see down in Ferguson or any other type of, inner city area where the majority is black. And that's because you don't have such huge disproportions. And you don't have a whole lot of the same type of elements of folks. But still, nonetheless, you see the chaos and anarchy that's going on. And it seems to be more directed towards the police in terms of forcing them to use force against them. Seems you see a group of people like egging the police, and some trying to cross over police lines to get the police to fight back. And it seems more like people want to be a part of some national cause. They just want to be victims somehow, as opposed to really you just look at it. It's just no reason for these people here to resort to violence, because it's not like there's reasons for anybody to resort to violence. But this is not a disparaged place. This is Berkeley, California. It's like, I don't live in Berkeley. I'm pretty sure there's somebody there just suffering. But this is a well employed area. It's a college town. It's cultured pretty nicely. It's no reason for all the breaking of stuff. So it's an interesting contrast. But it goes to show you that, yeah, anybody can be violent and destructive. But I think the lesson to be learned here is that these protests all stem from an initial movement that started in violence. And a lot of people say, no, there was lots of people back in Ferguson who were peacefully protesting. Yeah, there were lots of people. The majority of people were peacefully protesting. But you got to understand, when the flag of your protest is somebody who wasn't really that peaceful, and then you expect that you're going to attract a lot of peaceful folk, you're going to get people just like the flag that you portray. And those people are going to come out there and they're going to burn stuff down. And you look at Lewis Head, the stepfather of Mike Brown, talking about burn this place down. He knows, just like other people knew, that there were people out there who had bought lighter fluid and all this stuff and were ready to burn stuff. So it's just that when your protests start off as hands up, and then you attach the violence to the hands up, and then it becomes Black Lives Matter after, and then as it goes forward, other people start getting on the train. Proof of that is every time you read a news article and say it's a person who is of color who was, their life was taken or something happened that is being portrayed to be unjust, they always say likened to Mike Brown or likened to Trayvon Martin, but they'll say now they say likened to Mike Brown. So it's just like this connection. Every collective action is being connected to Mike Brown. And so that's why it's important that when you start your protest originally, it has to be rooted in the right things, because everything then after is going to be inflected on it. And that is also going to be inflected on everything else that happens. So it doesn't matter that going forward you have people who are peacefully protesting. There are going to be agitators there. There's always little splinter cells that want to go off and do their own agenda. But when your protests are known for violence from the very beginning, it's kind of like expected. It's a negative connotation on your movement. It's about violence and not about peace. So that's just my take on it. And interesting contrast. Really, really interesting. And I'm pro-protest, by the way. I mean, I see protesting and any type of collective action as being your rights, as this being a democracy, is your democratic right. But you have to do it right. You can't use, injustice to get justice. You can't break into stores, loot, burn stuff down for justice. It never works. Putting a good label on bad product doesn't make the product somehow seemingly, more good.